What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all staying blessed like always. If you're asking me, I'm good. Let's scoot y'all back a little bit. You know, gosh, damn, I'm keeping that in the video too. You know what's actually funny, right? I always wanted to do a late night, chilling, talking, eating video. And guess what? We got the Mickey D's, we got the Sprite, we got the video, we got the setup. So, you know, we gonna do it. Hopefully, y'all like this vibe. You know, I hope y'all doing good though. I think I said that already. And if you ask me, I'm good. You know, this video, I want to just chill. Grab a snack and just listen to me yap about some stuff that we need to talk about. You know, and what's the topic of the day is forgiving yourself. You know, back then, when I used to be going through a lot of stuff, or when I used to just be the immature kid I was, I did a lot of stuff that I regret. You know, I did a lot of stuff that I ain't gonna lie, I'm still ashamed of. One of my biggest issues is not forgiving myself for my past, or holding guilt from the way I used to be, you know? Being mean, being all that. I ain't gonna eat while I'm on the video. I ain't gonna do that. That's low-key crazy. But being mean, being immature, not being there for people, and the list goes on and on. You know, but when I was getting out of being all that, when I was getting out of the depression, the anxiety I was facing, it kind of hit me real hard, like that guilt of me focusing on myself, me, like not spending time with others, or when I was going through that stage, going through that phase, like me not being there for people that I needed to be there for or wanted to be there for. So that really hit hard. It really gave me a setback. You know, I feel like a lot of people can agree with me on this and feel the same way. Like, you felt like you should have been there at that certain time for people. But I'm here to tell you is that it's okay. And you gotta let go. See, obviously, there's pieces in our life that we feel like we should have had understood, we should have had fixed out. Put together, I should say. But, you never know who you really are until you at the end of your life. And you can't be the perfect person for everybody in every moment. You gotta learn, you gotta experience life in so many different ways. And I understand that, I couldn't be there for that person back then, but I'm gonna be there for this new person now. I'm gonna be there for myself. I'm gonna be there for these people. And you have to learn from not being there for people, you going through that hard time, because it's really just teaching you how to be there for the next one. And obviously, I still feel bad not being there for that person, or not being there for me, just struggling overall. I felt bad, but you live and you learn, and I gotta get over it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still not over it. It's something that I really gotta let go and try to forgive myself with, and I'm still working on that. But another thing I want to say that kind of ties into this, you gotta forgive yourself for being weak. We all go through patches. Maybe you faced a long time when you wasn't yourself. You just felt like you was in a rut. You felt like everything was going bad. You just felt like you wasn't worth anything. And this is real. I'm not trying to say this to put you down, but people truly feel like this. They just don't say it. And you felt like you was weak, bro. You felt like you was worthless. You felt like you was weak. You gotta forgive yourself for being weak, and understand that you're getting stronger. I think that's the hardest thing. Back then when I was weak, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you gotta forgive yourself for being weak, because you gotta start off weak. You gotta start off a certain way. You can't start off strong. When you get into the weight room, you don't start off benching 225. You don't start off benching 500. You start off benching the lightest weight probably in there. And it depends, and it changes depending on the experiences you go through life. I feel like, if we comparing it to weights and bench press and stuff, the more experience you get, the more weight you can push, and the more things you can understand overall in life. But you was weak, bro. It's okay. The problem is staying weak. The The problem is looking at yourself and not realizing that like you're getting stronger, like you're being better, and you're you're elevating yourself for a person that can be strong for people, a person that can be strong for himself, you know. And just being weak, bro, it's nothing wrong with being weak, you know. Like, we all are bad at certain things, we all, you know, are stronger in other things, but the problem is staying weak. You know, you are weak disciplined when it comes to food. Yeah, I'm talking about me. You are weak disciplined when it comes to reading, studying, praying, showing love to others, controlling your anger. And like, you know, it's a problem. Maybe it's a problem, but letting it stay as a problem, not trying to change it, not trying to fix it, is the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. And you gotta try to fix all that, man. You know, but the things that's done in the past is in the past. You gotta let it go. And it's so hard for me to tell y'all this, because, you know, I struggle to let go. So, but I know it's what I need to do. You know, I'm not stupid. I'm smart enough to understand that the best thing I can do when it comes to, you know, just loving myself, forgiving myself, and truly being the best version of myself is letting go of who I used to be, and how weak I was, and how I thought like nothing was gonna help me. I was in a bad place. You know, maybe you felt like you was in a bad place and you felt like you couldn't get out, and now you out, and you kind of like thinking about the bad place still. But the only reason why you should think about that place, the only reason why you should think about that struggle is car just drove past, it low-key messed me up. The only reason why you should think about that struggle is to truly encourage yourself. You know, I came from that. I started off there and now I'm here. Look at yourself with like, you know, with joy when you made that progress. No matter how small the progress is, you know, no matter how small the progress is. Like, even with weight, you know, if you lose 10 pounds, you lost 10 pounds. If you gain 10 pounds, you're trying to gain weight. If you did all that, you gained 10 pounds. It's overall a good thing. Mother car driving up to me. I'm low-key scared. But okay. But if you gain 10 pounds, you gain 10 pounds. I'm keeping that in the video. Y'all see what hey, bro, that's the devil, bro. I promise you. Dudes be like, dudes really be doing that stuff for no reason. And look at him. That's really like the enemy trying to like plot on me, bro. You're not strong enough. I thank God that y'all watching this stuff, cause y'all see stuff like that, bro. The dude. Okay, I'm sorry, but the dude literally came from all the way down there, and literally came all the way over here just to turn around. That's the stuff I be talking about, man. Hey, I'm telling you, when I be making videos, bro, the devil be trying to do so much stuff to stop me. But it ain't gonna stop us. But back to what I was saying about being weak, man. Let go, love yourself, understand yourself. You gotta understand why you was weak. Evaluate why you was weak. And be stronger. And then when I say be stronger, like, right? Don't think of like these toxic masculinity dudes, you know, that be like, oh, you know, get as many women as you can, get as rich as you can. Be stronger by being a man of God, by living for God, by showing the character traits and bearing the fruit that he gives us, that he tells us to do, you know? That's a strong masculine man right there, you know? It's not about how much stuff you do. It's not about how many women you get, how much money you have. It's truly about the legacy that you leave and how you put your impression and how you spread the gospel and how you lived your life, you know? People that's gonna remember you is gonna remember you. That's all I'm saying. Oh, that's the police. I think it's time for me to get up out of here. What time is it? And we got 5 minutes. We got a little time. But, you know. But just saying, bro, why is all these cars coming behind me, y'all? I'm keeping this in the video. I'm gonna show y'all all this, bro. I promise. But just saying, man. It's not about how much money you got. It's not about how many accolades you really made. It's about you teaching people you living how Christ wants you to live and how Christ lived. You know, a lot of people, when they think of being strong, they think of like getting the best money, getting the best this, getting the best. Being strong is being the best version of yourself with Christ who strengthens you, you know. So I'm gonna stop yapping because I low-key gotta go. The police is here and everything. So I will see y'all later. Hopefully y'all have a blessed night, blessed day, no matter when you're watching this. And hopefully y'all enjoyed that message. I'll see y'all later. Yeet. Peace.